It's gonna be a whole separate thing. Gosh dang it. This is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. Although the other one is not even... Yeah, but it's weird how the other one is still going, but it's not wanting to do anything. I know, that's what I'm doing. Well, so I guess there's this one then. I guess this is the stream for my channel. Let me pull up YouTube though. YouTube. So I can actually see what's going on my channel. What's going on? What's going on here? My channel, yes. So it still shows that one for some reason. I'll just have to, I don't know what to do about that one. How do I get rid of that other one? Creator Studio. Live streams. This can be like that. This will be easier for me. So that one needs to go away. All right. That should be it. That should be it. Nice to go to my channel. Wow. I wish I could have the other thumbnail that I made though. I'll have to change that later. Because it looks so bad otherwise. Oh, geez. Anyway. This is the actual stream. And there's nobody on. Not a single person, huh? Not a single person's on. It's been 2 minutes. 2 freaking minutes. Can everyone hear me? Hey, Manolia, how's it going? Oh, Lemon, there you are. Okay, everybody is coming on. Wow, it was a struggle. That was quite a struggle to get this going. Nothing wants to work when it's supposed to work. But anyways, we're here to talk about Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 and The Promised Neverland Season 1. So let's get into that. So Mob Psycho 100, if nobody knows, I got all the synopses for all of this stuff to pull up. Here we go. So Mob Psycho 100 is about a boy named Shigeo Kageyama, who's an average middle school boy, nicknamed Mob, for lacking a sense of presence. So I guess Mob means background character is what it says. Although he looks like an inconspicuous person, he's in fact a powerful esper with immense psychic power. To keep from losing control of his power, he constantly lives a life under an emotional shackle. In order to help learn how to control his abilities, Mob works as an assistant to a con man, Reigen Arataka. He is a self-proclaimed psychic. So he's a con man. He pretends he's a psychic, and he's helping this kid to control his powers, but he's actually a fake. He's not a real psychic. And Mob wants to live a normal life, just like those around him, but a barrage of trouble keeps coming after him. With his suppressed emotions growing inside little by little, his power threatens to break through its limits as he eventually encounters other espers. So that's basically the synopsis of that. Just a normal middle school student, but he has god powers, basically. Like, this kid is insanely powerful, but he doesn't want to use his powers at all. He would rather be just a normal person. But unfortunately, it does not work out that way. The whole series just throws things at him that makes him have to use his powers. like it says, he works for a guy named Reigen Arataka. He's hilarious. He's the comedy of the whole show, and he's a con man. He has a business for exorcising evil spirits for people, and he uses mob to exorcise the spirits for him. And then he just pays him like nothing, basically. And it's basically a way to teach mob how to use his powers, even though he has no powers himself. But mob wants to be in control of his powers, so that way he doesn't get scared about having to use them. So that's basically the whole thing of it. It's just he comes into counter with like evil spirits and other espers that try to fight him and whatnot, and it just becomes a mess, basically. And eventually he tries to hold his emotions in, because his emotions are what makes him unleash his powers. And if he like holds in his emotions too much, they start to seep through. And it basically has, in the episodes, it has like a counter of a percentage, and he goes from 0 to 100. And once he reaches 100, that's when his emotion, whatever emotion that he's holding in at that moment, it comes out, and he just starts wrecking everybody, pretty much. That's basically the whole thing about it. There's a group called Claw that has this leader who's super powerful, and all the people who work for Claw are espers as well, and they kind of want to take over the world, and he gets involved in that. That's mainly the villains of the whole show for until now, pretty much, because season 1 and season 2 pretty much encompassed all of that. But this is about season 2, which was absolutely incredible. Oh my god. Season 1 was really good. I didn't know how to feel about the show at first. I thought it's very comedy based. Luckily the comedy is really good. It's actually really funny, which is nice, because usually the comedy is not too good when it comes to shows like that. But it was really good, and the action is amazing. I haven't heard if season 3 has been confirmed. It has to be, though. Season 1 did really well, but it didn't do like amazingly well. So it was a very underrated show, and nobody really thought there was going to be a season 2. And then season 2 was announced and, of course, released this year in January. And it just ended this last week. This last Monday it ended. Season 2 blew up. Season 2 completely blew up. Like, there's way more fans of the show now because of season 2. It's just, season 2 was amazing. It had everything that anybody loves with the action, the intenseness. It was dark at times, funny, amazing story, and you see the main character grow up and start to accept his psychic powers and be able to like handle them a little bit better, but he still tries too hard to keep his emotions in check, and it's kind of a shackle on him. But season 2 is amazing. Everybody's been talking about season 2. It's raised it up for me as being one of my favorite animes now. I would say it's at least number 3 in my top favorite anime, because it just did it for me. Especially near the end of the season, it was getting to where it felt like I was watching Dragon Ball Z. That's how amazing it was getting. The fights, them flying through the air, and buildings getting blown up and things flying all over the place, and just the action, the fluidity of the animation. I know a lot of people complain in anime where most episodes will be kind of crap, and then there'll be like 1 or 2 episodes that'll be amazing animation. This anime had amazing animation all the way through it. I think it's because it's drawn very simple. It's not very detailed in the animation, and I think that allows them to be more fluid. Yes, number 3. Attack on Titan used to be number 2, and I feel like it's dropping down. I think we still have the rest of season 3 of Attack on Titan coming out this month, so maybe Attack on Titan will climb back up. But the beginning of season 3 of Attack on Titan it didn't feel that great to me, so it's dropped down from my number 2. Hunter x Hunter came up and took the number 2 spot that Attack on Titan once had. And then this anime, Mob Psycho 100, came in and took the number 3 spot. So Attack on Titan is now number 4. So we'll see what happens when the rest of season 3 comes out of Attack on Titan. We'll see where it all ends up. I'm expecting this season of Attack on Titan to be amazing. So we'll see. But right now, Mob Psycho 100 is up there. It is definitely up there. It can be goofy at times. It can be silly at times. But that's the whole charm of the show. It's really good. And the action, when it gets serious, it gets serious. Like, things get nuts. So I definitely recommend that show, for sure. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, so I'll try not to get into too many spoilers about the show. But season 2 mainly starts out with them doing it starts out with Mob and Reigen mainly doing like exorcisms, little jobs. And at first it feels like filler, but really there's a lesson that's learned in everything that Mob does. He starts thinking about things more, about how he should direct his emotions, the things he should be using his powers for, if he should be using them to protect people, or if he should not be using his powers at all. And he has all these things build and build and build until you get to where the main villains come in and the main story sets in, and now he's getting thrown at things that he originally didn't want to deal with. Especially in season 1, the main concept in season 1 is he did not want to use his powers at all against people. He only wants to use them against evil spirits. He did not want to use them against humans because he felt like he didn't want to hurt anybody. He felt like his powers were a weapon that he needed to be careful with. But when the villains come in, it gets to where he has to let that go. He has to use his powers against them. And it's very conflicting for him, and it's really interesting to watch. So it's really enjoyable. I'm tempted. I just need a good amount of time to watch it. Yeah, we got plenty of time now, so we'll be able to watch Mob Psycho. I got the Blu-ray of season 1 in dub. They haven't dubbed season 2 yet, unfortunately. And yes, I watch dub and sub, but I prefer dub. Hearing English is a lot better for me versus the Japanese. Nothing wrong with watching it in Japanese, but I get more out of it in English. I feel the emotions more when I'm watching it in English. So I'm excited for it to be in dub, season 2 to be in dub. Especially for the voice, whoever plays Reigen does the most incredible job of anybody I've ever seen in anime doing dub. Normally people sound really fake, or they're like, when they scream, you can tell that it's not very real. This guy, though, he goes all in when he feels like he actually enjoys doing the dubbing. And he also plays Poof, Shia LaPoof, or whatever his name is in Hunter x Hunter, the butterfly guy. He plays him as well in the dub, and he was perfect for that role. So I can't wait for season 2 to be dubbed, because he has a lot of focus on his character in season 2. Because actually he grows up as a character as well. He's a con man. He just tricks people. He acts like he's really like he's a sidekick and he has powers. People come to him and like, oh, there's this creepy feeling I feel on my shoulders, and I need to get rid of it. It might be an evil spirit, and he'll just give them like a massage on their shoulders, and they'll feel better. And he'll like, yeah, I exorcised the spirit. It's all good now. This should be gone. It's just fake. He's just completely fake. And if it actually is an evil spirit, he'll call Mob to come in and take care of it, and then pretend like, oh, I could have handled it myself, but you know, I didn't need to waste my time with weak spirits. So he keeps it up pretty well. There was a moment in season 2 that I thought he was going to get caught. It got really close to him being caught, but he never does. It's kind of like Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball Z, where he acts like he's the most powerful, but really he's a fraud. He's not the most powerful. But he keeps it up. He keeps that story up. So that's pretty much the same thing that happens in this. So it's really good. It gets to about episode maybe 5 or 6 or so when it starts getting really serious in season 2, because there's an evil spirit that comes into play that is so powerful that I don't even know if Mob can handle it. We never get an explanation, I don't think, if Mob can handle this thing, but it's it's scary. Season 1's ghosts and spirits were kind of silly a little bit. Like the very first spirit that you see is just some guy with an afro, and he's like, it just looks like a normal dude. Just you can tell he's a ghost. But but in season 2, it's like somebody just decided to turn the scary knob up to max because it gets really insane. No, I know I'm not doing too many spoilers. I'm not getting into the nitty-gritty because there are some amazing things in the show. But I definitely recommend it. It is definitely a good watch. It was the only show that I was able to review for this season. I didn't review The Promised Neverland because I didn't know if it was going to be a good anime or not. I wanted to make sure that it was a good anime before reviewing it. So I will review season 2, which has been confirmed for next year for The Promised Neverland. So speaking of The Promised Neverland, that show is going to be kind of hard not to spoil. So let me get the synopsis up of that show real quick. So let me see if I can get this up. The plot of The Promised Neverland. It's set in the year 2045. Emma is an 11-year-old orphan living in Gracefield House, a small orphanage housing her and her 37 siblings. Life had never been better, with food that tasted gourmet, plush beds, snow-white uniforms, and the love of their mother, which is the caretaker, Isabella, as well as the daily exams that Emma always aced with her two best friends, Ray and Norman. So they do exams to test how smart they are, basically. The orphans are basically allowed to do whatever they want, except venture out of the compounds or the gate that connects the house to the outside world. So they're living in this compound, this big, huge orphanage, like it's a giant mansion, basically. And it's surrounded by an enormous plot of land where they got a field, they have forests that surround it, but then beyond the forest is a fence. And then beyond the fence is a gigantic wall. And they're not even allowed to go near the fence, let alone the wall. If they got near the wall, they're in big trouble. So they're supposed to stay away from all that because reasons. And it says there's her and 37 siblings, so it's pretty big. I think she's the oldest. There's no 12-year-olds and beyond. It's just 11 and down that live in this house. I'm trying to read this real quick because I don't want to. It does this plot summary does spoil the first episode, so I'm trying not to spoil it. So they get adopted from the orphanage one by one, like they'll be on the list or on the calendar to be adopted, and then they get adopted and you never see them again. And they don't get letters or anything about it. Hey, Solace, Jacob. I'm going to just call you Jacob. That looks easier, so I don't butcher the first part of that. Hey, welcome to the stream. Just talking about Mob Psycho 100 and The Promised Neverland. Right now we're talking about The Promised Neverland, but I can always get back to Mob Psycho 100. I'm not going to give you the spoilers. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Little lemon, not giving you nothing. This one is definitely on my list, but yep. This one's really good. Don't know what that is, but hi anyway. Well, hello. There are 2 anime that came out in January. Well, season 2 of Mob Psycho 100 came out in January, and then season 1 of The Promised Neverland debuted in January. They both just ended this last week because we're getting ready to go into the spring season for anime. But yeah, now that we're done with those, I reviewed the Mob Psycho 100 anime on my channel, so I have all the episodes that are reviewed, but I didn't review The Promised Neverland. But anyways, getting back to on that. Oh wait, hold on. Remember to look up the camera. I want to see your lovely eye. I know I'm looking at the screen. I know you want to look at my face, my little face. I'm looking at the screen right now because I can see myself like I'm on like on Skype or something. But anyways, I'll look at the screen more. I'm just going to read this really quick. So there's an orphan named Connie that gets sent away to be adopted. And they're sad because they never get any letters or anything about when they get adopted. They just completely disappear and they never see them again. I know, poor me. But they follow her because she left her stuffed rabbit toy back at the house. So Emma and Norman follow to see what to give her back the little stuffed bunny that she left behind, and they discover the truth of what this orphanage is all about. I will not go any further than that. Because if you do not know, it is something bad, obviously. There's something really you can feel during the whole first episode that there's something creepy about this orphanage, but you don't really question it that much until the end when you see what's really going on. It's nothing I expected. I was completely thrown off by what happens at the end of the episode. So when you watch it, just keep in mind when you get to that end, that's where things get really heavy. So obviously something really bad is going on at this orphanage and they have to escape. They have to get out of here. So it's up to Emma, Norman, and the other guy is Ray. And Ray is basically, if you've ever watched Naruto, he is the Sasuke of the group. He looks like Sasuke. He acts like Sasuke. He has an attitude, but he's super smart. So these three kids are extremely smart, like brilliant geniuses, but each in their own way. So Emma is really smart, but she's very naive. She's very gullible. She's very innocent. She wants to save all of the kids. She wants to rescue all of them and escape with all of them. And it's like some of these kids are babies, so it's not like it's going to be an easy task. So she's the shonen character because this is a shonen anime. So it has the same elements of like never give up, always keep going no matter what happens. It has all of that. And she is the shonen character of never giving up, always persevering, wants to save everybody, will save everyone because you try hard enough, you can accomplish anything. She is that character. But what's really refreshing about this show is that you can't be like that. In Naruto, he was able to hold on to those ideals all the way to the very end. She can't hold on to those ideals because in this world is not realistic. So she have her. It's little kids because, well, I can't spoil it. There's a reason why it's only little kids. The only adult is the caretaker, which is the mother. And you can't know why it's little kids unless you've watched the episode, because you find out why. There is specifically a reason why it's little kids. But I can't spoil it. It's actually a really good reason. It's really scary. It's a really scary reason. But I won't go into it further than that because I don't want to spoil too much. But it is little kids and they're trying to escape. You have Emma. You have Norman. Norman is the strategist. He is the one who is calm, collected, and he thinks of all the plans. He's brilliant. Like he knows and strategizes about everything. He's the one who really helps them the most to try and figure out an escape plan, pretty much. And then you have Ray, who is he's a genius in making things. He can craft things. He can build things. So he's smart in that respect. So between the three of them, they have a little group of where they can try and figure out an escape plan to get out of this place because, my God, the things it's a really smart show. Reminds me a lot of Death Note, pretty much. Because if it didn't, I would be always wondering. No, there is a reason why it's only kids. Because if if it was adults, it would probably be a lot easier to escape. But the fact that it's kids actually makes it way more interesting because you are more scared and more tense for these kids. You feel like you really want them to escape, and you feel like they're more helpless. Even if they're really smart, like they're geniuses, you feel like they're more helpless just because they're kids. Because you have the mother who's a full adult, and she is like watching them, making sure like who's trying to escape, like who's the masterminds that are trying to get out of here and all this stuff. She's the main issue pretty much. They have to get around. And there's so many things they have to get through because you don't know what's going to be out. They don't know what's in the outside world. They don't know why they're being, I mean, they find out in the first episode why they're being in the orphanage, but they don't know the state of the outside world, like what's waiting for them if they escape. And if they escape, if they can survive and not get caught and get put back in the orphanage, pretty much. Hey, Kevin Lopez. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Just talking about Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 and The Promised Neverland Season 1. Both anime. I don't know if you're an anime fan, but that's what they are. And they were brilliant, brilliant anime. A lot of people are saying that The Promised Neverland is the winner of the winter season for anime. I say Mob Psycho 100 was way better than that. So I'm glad that both of them came out at a really good time because anime was pretty dry for a while. So I'm glad we got some new anime. It's really refreshing when we get new anime to watch. But thank you for joining. I don't even know where I left off talking about Promised Neverland, but for them to escape, they can't just think about like what they need to do to get out. They have to think about how are they going to get everybody out because there's babies in here too. It's not just like 11-year-olds. It goes from 11 to like babies. So it's like, how are they going to get all of them out and not get caught? Is there security outside? Is there cameras? They don't know any of this. Is there tracking devices? There's so many things that they have to think about. And it makes you feel like you're there with them, like you're trying to figure out like how the hell are they supposed to get out of here, basically, because there's so many variables that they have to watch out for, and there's so many plot twists. There's so many things that go on where you're like, you think that they're gonna escape, and then they're not able to, and they get discouraged, and they got to figure out a new plan, and it just keeps going and going. And that's the whole of season 1 is basically them trying to figure out to escape from this place. And they do really well, like figuring out plans that if it was me, I would have just died. If it was me, I would have been killed right away because I would have not been able to hide the fact that I knew what was going on. And I wouldn't have been able to figure out a plan to get out of there. I would have died so fast. So that's basically The Promised Neverland Season 1. I can't explain what happens at the end of the season because they would give away too much. But let me click into the anime stuff about it. Let me see if I can get some stats about it and stuff. I know it does really well on Shonen Jump. So it is a Shonen Jump anime, which is actually pretty good considering because normally Shonen Jump, it's a Shonen Jump anime, but Shonen Jump is about fighting and like Naruto, DBZ, all of those. Oh, thank you so much. I'm trying to do my best for my little discussion. I'm trying to find out The Promised Neverland. Let's see. Top news. It's a weird website. A weird looking website. Stories, cast. Let's see. Updates. Trailers. Official. There's lots of stuff on here. I'm just trying to find some news and stuff about it. So there's only 12 episodes in the season. So it's actually a pretty good season. It's an easy watch. So where does Promised Neverland rank? Promised Neverland? I'm not looking at weird websites. I'm just looking at normal websites. This one has a really cool pointer. It looks like water on it. It's really cool. But anyways, where does it rank on my top? I mean, there's only one season and it's only 12 episodes, so you can't really get a good grasp of it. I would rank it around Death Note. It's very similar to Death Note in that it's very smart. Whoever wrote this anime is a genius. I feel like they're just some super smart person that instead of like discovering a cure for cancer or something, they decide to like just write manga. That's how smart it is, because like the things that they come up with and the strategies and the thought that's put into it is just so good. I know it's won awards on the Shonen Jump. All that I can see on here is just the episodes, so I'm gonna have to go back to Wikipedia or something to find out some stuff about it. Let me go back, but yeah, it's I don't know where I would. It's definitely, I want to say top 10, but there's so many anime that I love that I don't know. I keep putting everything in the top 10, but there's no way I could put all the anime that I love in my top 10. So as of right now, I don't know where I would put it on my top 10, if it even is in the top 10, but it is really amazing. I had chills like in several episodes, but I will say this, Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 beat it for my top for this season. But that's not saying that it's not good, because it's really amazing. But yeah, it is near Death Note, because it's just as smart as Death Note. The strategy, the mind games, the things they think about is just like Death Note. I just need to go back to Wikipedia here to get back. So it's written by what's his face? Shirai. Kayu Shirai. I don't know if I'm butchering that completely. He actually doesn't illustrate it. He just does the writing, because I know it's like a normal manga. It was serialized in Shonen Jump, just right along with Boruto, Naruto, DBZ. It's in the same magazine as all those, so it was kind of a interesting addition to to that lineup. In August of 2016, published by Shueisha. It's got 10 volumes out, and it's just the story follows a group of orphan children and their escape plan from the orphanage. I want to get like some, let me see the reception about it. It was nominated, so the manga was nominated for the 10th Manga Taisho Awards in January of 2017. It received 43 points from the Manga Awards Executive Committee. The manga was also nominated for the 11th edition of the Manga Taisho Awards in 2018, receiving 26 points in total. The manga has 1.5 million in print, and by October 2017, the number had increased to 2.1 million. As of September 14th of 2018, the first 10 volumes had 6 million copies in print. Anime News Network Rebecca Silverman enjoyed the first manga volume and gave it an A-, saying tense pacing, interesting I can't read. Literary connections, art, and story work well together. Strong plot and foreshadowing. Lots of foreshadowing, but a very strong plot as well. And the manga won the 63rd Shogakukan Manga Award in the Shonen category. So it's won some pretty good stuff. It does really well. Let me look at the comments. How far along is it into the anime? So the anime is only this one season, which is 12 episodes, and I don't know what volume it is, but it is an entire arc. It finishes the entire arc in the first season, so it's one arc, one season, and it's been confirmed for season 2 next year. It actually was the anime, if I can find about the anime. The anime television series adaptation was announced in the 26th issue of Shonen Jump, 2018. It aired from January until like last week, pretty much, on Fuji TV's late night. On the Noi Tamina program block. The series is animated by Cloverworks, which is interesting because Cloverworks is a very unknown animation studio. But the animation's really fluid. Like, they actually did really well with the animation. And yeah, an A- is definitely a good rating for a starter. It did really well. It's really talked about. It is the hot new anime right now. Like, if it's a fresh, not excluding like Mob Psycho, because Mob Psycho's on at season 2, for a brand new anime adaptation, it's done fantastically well. It actually adapted the manga very, very well as far as what I've heard. Handling characters, music, simulcast, exclusive rights, blah blah blah. Just looking through this right now, performing the series opening theme song. Oh yeah, the theme song. Oh my god, I had to talk about the theme. The opening theme for the Promised Neverland is the best opening theme that I've heard in like so long. It gets stuck in your head so easy that you just want to keep listening it to over and over again. Amazing. Be back in a minute. All right, catch you in a bit, Magnolia. Thank you for joining. Yeah, the intro to Promised Neverland. Oh my god, brilliant! It is the best one. Mob Psycho 100 season 2 opening was really amazing as well, but not as amazing as this one. And also season 1 of Mob Psycho had a way better opening as well. But both openings were amazing. But my god, the Promised Neverland's opening was like that really catchy song. Loved it. Sorry, January. Second season was announced. Yeah, it's planned to premiere in 2020. So yeah, next year. So we got next year season 2, which is great. It's nice that it was so successful that they were confident enough that there would be a second season. So I'm really glad about that. It's not in dub. There's no dub of it. I don't know if when there will be a dub for this anime. I'm hoping soon because that'd be really nice if there was. If there is a dub, I will let everyone know on my Twitter or whatever. So check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram, all of that stuff. But in my Twitter, I'll definitely let people know if there's going to be a season 2. So that's the Promised Neverland, pretty much. I will probably talk about spoilers later, but I don't know if it'll be on this live stream. It'll probably be on something different if I decide to, depending on how successful this is. So Mob Psycho 100, going back to that. For the media, webcomic anime reception. There we go. Let's get to reception a little bit, which there's not much. I just won an award. The 60-second Shogakukan Award. Let me see, because it's not a manga. That's the thing with this. It's not a manga. It is a web series. It's just some guy. This is what's amazing. It's a web comic, and it's a guy named One who made this. If you don't know who this guy is, he is the person who created One Punch Man. One Punch Man is actually his most famous work, but it got so famous that people started looking at his other works, which is Mob Psycho 100, and that's how it got famous as well. But he's the one behind One Punch Man. But basically, he does a webcomic and then Mob Psycho 100 began April 12th, 2012, and it got really popular, and it started getting published in actual volumes because it got popular enough. And final chapter, Dark Horse Comics announced, and a spinoff. Okay, so that's useless information. Basically, it got really popular. One Punch Man actually, because he draws his own stuff, and he's awful at drawing. I don't know if you'll ever see anything that he draws, but my God, he draws really badly. And he draws so bad that somebody came across his One Punch Man webcomic, and they loved it so much that they actually offered to draw it for him, like redraw it. And he found like the person who draws like the best ever. I've never seen better drawings for a manga. So he got lucky with that. But with Mob Psycho 100, it's just drawn the way he always draws. And the anime adapts his drawings very well, actually. So they're very simple drawn. They're very plainly drawn. But the anime actually does a little bit better with them. And I think that's why they make it so fluid with the animation. But it's more true to his actual work. One Punch Man is adapting good guys' drawings. It's not like the crappy ones or whatever. If it was, it would look so bad. They announced a television series. So Mob Psycho 100 is produced by Bones, Studio Bones. If you don't know who Studio Bones is, they actually animate My Hero Academia. They animate Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So they got some big animes under their belt, and they actually animate Mob Psycho 100. And they do really well. And you can't even tell that it's them. The animation is so different between Mob Psycho and My Hero Academia that it's like you can't even tell it's the same company doing it. What did I miss? Just talking about who's animating Mob Psycho 100. It's Studio Bones, which I mentioned they do My Hero Academia, they do Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't know what else they do, to be honest. They do a lot of big anime, and they animate Mob Psycho 100, but you can't even tell it's them. I don't know, because a lot of people complain about animation, like I said earlier, where it's like one episode will be crap, or one episode will be good. The rest of it is kind of crap animation. And they say it's because budget. They take all their budget and they push one episode, like usually the action episode, to be really, really amazing, and the rest are kind of mediocre. They must have infinite budget on Mob Psycho 100 because every episode is fluid and amazing. It's like they have no limit to their budget and they just keep pumping money into this thing because it's amazing. Yes, because My Hero is made by the same people, but My Hero is more, even though it's seasonal, it reminds me more of animation for Naruto, where it's really good animation, but you don't really get the amazing animation until it's like a really significant moment where it needs to be. Mob Psycho is like every episode is amazing. I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Mob Psycho where the animation was complete crap. So they do really amazing on it. I'm looking up more information about it. So they did some OVAs for Mob Psycho, but I never really cared about OVAs for any anime, so I kind of just stay away from those. But I got the Blu-ray of season 1. I will be getting the Blu-ray of season 2 whenever it comes out. It's not even dubbed yet, so it'll be quite a while before they do. But always support the actual release. Sometimes people don't, like me. I don't always support it. Well, I do. If an anime is actually good, if it's actually a really good anime, I will buy the Blu-ray and support the cause, because especially if it deserves it. I'm gonna look up and see if there's any information on like actual awards and stuff that it's drawn. Dark Horse comments, no. I know what I'll look for. I'm gonna look for what else did they do. So Studio Bones. Studio. I can't even see what's going on. There we go. Bones. There we go. Studio Bones. What else did they do? Man, they've done a lot. Oh my god. So My Hero. I'm trying to find the ones that actually people will know. Noragami. Space Dandy, Soul Eater, Blast of Tempest. I think I've heard of that before. Hero Man, Skull Man, Ghost Slayers, High School Host Club, Full Metal Alchemist. So basically, Full Metal, My Hero are like the main ones, of course, that people are gonna know. All the rest of them, they've done a lot, but all the rest of them, I don't really know what the heck they are. But they do really well. Studio Bones is actually really well known. Like if you have an anime that is animated by Studio Bones, you're pretty confident that it's going to be good. Mostly people don't like Studio Period. Don't know who Studio Period is. They're the ones who animate Naruto, Bleach, stuff like that, and Tokyo Ghoul. People hate Studio Period because they kind of suck with their animation. They only do good when they feel like doing good. Otherwise, animation can be pretty blocky. I'm hoping these Blu-ray purchases really do pay off for you. They do, because I do rewatch them, and you can tell the difference when it's on Blu-ray. You feel like when you download like a Blu-ray episode or something, or when I make Blu-ray episodes, like, oh, it looks really clear, it looks really good. It's not. When you actually watch a real Blu-ray from an actual disc, a Blu-ray disc, it's incredibly better. You don't realize it until you see it and you're like, yes, this is why I should be watching the Blu-ray. And even better yet, if the Blu-ray is from Funimation, the sound is surround sound, which is incredible. If the Blu-ray is from Viz Media, which does Naruto, it's just stereo. It is not surround sound. I hate that they do that. But Funimation, it does really well with their Blu-rays. Yep, I'm gonna rewatch them all with you. Don't you worry. We're still getting through Naruto with you. I don't know when we'll watch Mob Psycho because I kind of want to prefer it. I want to prefer season 2 being dubbed before we get there. So it'll be a while. Parasite's a good one. Parasite is animated by, oh, what's their name? Madhouse. Parasite's animated by Madhouse. Madhouse is the king of animation. Madhouse is the king. Madhouse is Parasite. They did One Punch Man season 1. They do Hunter Hunter. They do amazing. If you get an anime that's animated by a Madhouse, you're sitting pretty because you know it's going to be amazing. Let me find out what the Cloverworks is. Studio Cloverworks, because they're a new one that not many people know about. Let me get them up there. Cloverworks. Let's see what they've done. The Promised Neverland, great. Fate, Grand Order, Fairy Tail, Ace Attorney season 2, Persona 5, the animation, Darling in the Franxx. I've heard of some of these. That's all they have, really. They got like about 7 or so anime, but the Promised Neverland, they did very well with that. It was animated very, very well, so I'm pretty confident about them. They're actually a really nice studio. Studio Periot's the one that's kind of like, if you get anime by Studio Periot, it's like, well, I guess that's it then. So much Naruto. Yes, Naruto's a very big series. We're actually pretty close. We're not close to getting done. There's still a lot more. But we're actually in the getting closer to the final arcs of Naruto. So don't worry, we're getting there. They are giants. I guess being so big, they get the pick of the litter. Yeah, if they get to decide which ones they want to do. It's sad that One Punch Man season 2, which will be premiering pretty soon, next week, pretty much. I think it'll be April 9th when it premieres. It's not done by Madhouse anymore. They didn't want to do season 2, so it got moved to a different studio. And I know the trailer came out for season 2, and everybody was not happy with how it looked. Everybody was saying it looked like garbage, which to me, I actually didn't notice that big of a difference. You can kind of tell, but it wasn't that bad. Like, come on. I think people got spoiled with Madhouse, and they're like, yes, we need it to be amazing. It needs to be the best. And yes, One Punch Man, I wish it would have stayed with Madhouse, but what can you do? They didn't want to do it. I hope that if they decide to do another season of Hunter x Hunter, that they decide to do it and not shove it to somewhere else. But they're both really good anime. Mob Psycho 100 season 2, Promised Neverland season 2, both really well. I was really happy with how they went. There's so many anime coming out in April that I can't even I don't even know what to do. There's just too many shows coming out in April. I will be reviewing One Punch Man season 2 for sure. I'll be reviewing My Hero Academia season 4 and Attack on Titan the rest of season 3. I'm excited for those. Mostly the one that I'm really looking forward to is the My Hero, to be fair. I think because Attack on Titan is going to be epic. It is going to be amazingly epic, but I feel like my hype for Attack on Titan has died down. I don't know why. It really needs to up it a little bit. Oh, hey, the Funky Fish. Thank you so much for subscribing, man. Thank you. That was really nice. I didn't know I was going to get a subscriber from this live stream. I'm wondering if Madhouse didn't want One Punch Man season 2 because it might be a bomb. That's not true, actually. Because the story of One Punch Man actually gets way, way better the more that it goes along. Because we're actually going to get a main villain. It's going to be a main storyline. And it's not going to be jumping around from like, oh, this is the main villain. This is the main villain. No, this is the main villain. No, we actually have a main villain. And that's going to be the rest of the story pretty much. I don't know how much it's going to cover, though. There's a lot of content of this main villain that they need to cover. So it could even go into a season 3 or season 4 at that point. Obviously, One Punch Man is gonna beat this main villain in one punch. It's not like it's gonna be. It's not like it's gonna be an amazing fight or anything. I don't think he's gonna beat him in one punch. But it's more about the characters around and getting their chance to shine and fight. And then when they're all beaten to death, then One Punch Man comes and defeats them. It's hard to top yourself. Some of these animes, I found that out the hard way. It's true. That's very true because, I mean, Attack on Titan, season 1 blew up. It exploded into popularity. It was actually, some said it was like the #1 anime of all time. But then they took so long, they took 4 years to come out with a season 2, that the hype just faded away. And even though season 2 was amazing, people had already fallen off of it pretty much. And then when season 3 came, it went to politics and stuff, and that's when the hype really died down. Even though it was really good, I actually enjoyed season 3, but it didn't feel the same. It was animated a little bit different. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Habs. Is that how you say it? Habs. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I am praying that One Punch Man doesn't bomb. I don't think it'll bomb. People will complain about the animation. I feel like that'll be the main gripe. But this is the thing. When Dragon Ball Super first came out, did it bomb? It actually did really well, even though everyone hated the animation. And even today, people still hate the animation of Dragon Ball Super. They said it was like the worst animation they've ever seen, that they could have done so much better. But look how much money they made from that anime. Look how popular the anime got. It's mostly about the story. If the story is really amazing and it's animated decently, it'll be good. As long as they adopt the manga perfectly, or the web series, it'll be good. I have confidence in season 2 of One Punch Man. And to be fair, they didn't take 4 years like Attack on Titan to come out with the second season. It did take like 2 years, I think. So it's been a while. It's nostalgia that sells when it comes to Super. You know, it has loyal fans. It's true. But actually, Super has gotten a ton of new fans to the series. So it's actually grown even more. So you have the loyal fans, and then now you have the new fans, and now it's an even bigger series. And that's why it can't stop. They have to keep making Super. It'll be going on for the rest of time. I don't think we'll ever. I don't think Dragon Ball will ever end. Hey, Wired Gaming. Right now, well, we're kind of on a ramble about how season 2 of One Punch Man is gonna be. But really, I've been talking about Mob Psycho 100 season 2 and the Promised Neverland season 1. But unfortunately, I haven't been doing spoilers for these anime, so I couldn't really get into in depth about these anime. I think what I'll do is the next stream that I do about these, I'm gonna do spoilers. That way I can actually do a really decent live stream. Because if you don't have spoilers, there's not much you can really talk about with it. We've been talking about Dragon Ball Super just a tiny bit about how even though the animation really sucked throughout it, not sucked, but it wasn't up to par with what people wanted, it still did amazingly well. It's been a really good discussion. Yes, it's been pretty good. Had a decent amount of people so far, and I got 2 subscribers during this, so it's actually not too bad of a live stream. I didn't know what to expect. I got to do better on beginning a live stream, though. Unfortunately, the camera didn't want to work when I first started this. No, Lemon. No spoilers. You will not be getting any spoilers. You've already been spoiled in Naruto. You already know like the whole story of Naruto and how it's going to end. It's not even fair. I bet I was at work, so I missed most of it. It's fine. This will be uploaded later. I mean, you can rewatch the rest of it and see all we were talking about. It's been a good discussion. I will say that Mob Psycho 100 season 2 was a 10 out of 10. It was the best anime season that I've seen in a long time. I can't remember. I mean, the recent animes has been like Seven Deadly Sins season 2, the rest of Super, stuff like that. But in Tokyo Ghoul Re, a lot of these didn't really hold up that well. Super did actually well. I actually enjoyed Super a lot, but the other ones didn't really do it for me. I felt kind of bland with the other anime. But then here comes Mob Psycho season 2, and my God, the hype. If you don't know, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but when you're watching episode 8 in particular, and the whole episode is just like happy and nice and character development, and then you get to the end of the episode and it's like it throws some dark, horrible tragedy in your face, and then it ends. That is what blew up the season. If it wasn't for that episode, I don't think the season would have been as big as it was, because that episode blew up. It's actually my highly rated YouTube review is that episode. He's doing great, even in the detail of plot twist. The studio's animes. Yep. So yeah, we've been getting into the studios that do these two anime and how good they've been doing. I know people, as far as like the public goes, the Promised Neverland has actually done better than Mob Psycho season 2. Mob Psycho 100 is a very, very underrated show. It doesn't have as much fans as other anime. It's hard to say, because it's like I find a lot of people who love it, but it's not a very big anime. It's very underrated. It's the underdog right now, pretty much. They call it the shonen underdog because the story and everything is very shonen, but it's not very popular. I mean, it's more popular now that after season 2, but the Promised Neverland definitely got a lot more likes on it. I'm actually gonna go to Rotten Tomatoes and see what they got to say about these real quick. That way we can get some good insight. So let's see. Mob Psycho season 2. Whoops, spelled that completely wrong. 100. There we go. Season 2. It looks like they even have like a live action movie in Japan or something. That's weird. No consensus. What? They don't even know what to give it. Here's a critic. They actually have a rating right here. Bizarre, funny, and genuinely affecting, Mob Psycho 100 is a recommended addition to the anime collection of fans of action and the experimental. Just give it more than the usual 3 episodes to find itself. That is very, very true. Because when I first watched Mob Psycho, the first episode, I was like, it's too goofy, nothing serious. It's very, very, very like comedy based. And then episode 2, and it's like, yeah, still really goofy. Don't know how to feel. Episode 3 comes along, and then you're like, oh snap, this is when he gets to 100% and he changes and just demolishing people. It's like, yes, this is okay. Then you get what the story is about. After episode 3, you know it's amazing. What are your thoughts on Rotten Tomatoes anime review ratings? I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes is weird because like after the whole thing that happened with Captain Marvel, it's like, can you even trust Rotten Tomatoes at this point anymore? But they were the first one that I thought to look up. There's another. I know there's a IMBD or something I can look up as well. I've never heard of Mob Psycho. I may have to check it out after this. Yes, please, Wire Gaming, check out Mob Psycho. If you love comedy, if you love action, fluid animation, good story, it's definitely the one. It's amazing. Tomatoes. Yes, I said tomatoes because I'm American. Yeah, it is number 3 on my list. Not number 2. Number 2 is Hunter x Hunter. Number 2 is definitely Hunter x Hunter. And if they continued Hunter x Hunter, it would definitely stay at number 2. I hope it doesn't get thrown off by something else. And that's the only review of Mob Psycho on here. Let me look up Promised Neverland real quick. That's really new as well, so I don't know if it's gonna have as much. No. There's a lot of movies that have the promise on there. Promised Neverland, no results. Well, forget you, Rotten Tomatoes, and going somewhere else then. They must not like anime very well on there. IMBD should have something interesting. Let's see what they got. They usually do pretty good with their ratings. Let's see what they got. Mob Psycho. There we go. Mob Psycho 100. It had Mob Psycho 100 has an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. That's actually pretty good. Let me see the comments. 3 of my apologies. It's amazing. Yes, Hunter x Hunter. My God, you know what's really sad about Hunter x Hunter is that I waited so long to watch it. That was my issue. Is that I looked at how it was animated. I looked at the main character, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna watch this. Oh my God, I should have watched it way sooner. Because then I could have watched it with my sister and enjoyed it. And instead I watched it by myself. And then I watched it with Manolia. And it was amazing. And we'll be watching it with my girlfriend as well. And I know it's going to be an amazing ride every single time that I watch it. Have you seen that Bleach has been set for a reboot? Oh, they're getting a reboot, huh? Well, I don't like Bleach, so... So I won't be watching it. I couldn't get into Bleach. I just couldn't do it. It was too... It felt a lot like some Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon show to me. So yeah, Mob Psycho, 8.2 out of 10. Out of 5,772 people voting on it. Reviews. 5 critic review. Let's see what the critics got to say about this. What do the critics got to say? And nothing showed up. Amazing. Oh, it has just the reviews on there. It's probably just going to be reviewing season 1, to be fair. So I don't need to look at that. There's probably not going to be much about season 2. Let me see. Details, specs, user reviews. There we go. This user said probably the best anime of this year. That was for season 1. I am thrilled with how the character development as well as the story unfold, although it started with a pretty slow pacing, just like its manga. The story, however, it intensifies from every episode release, which is really true. The cliffhangers were just too good to be true. This makes the viewers wet with the hypes for the future episodes. Wow, very nice with this critic. I'm just a little bit annoyed with how others criticize the show. Yeah, I haven't seen like anything bad about it, but I guess there's always those jerk critics everywhere. But yeah, Mob Psycho, definitely good. It's got a popularity of 761. I don't know out of what, but it's went up by 49, which is probably because of season 2. I was the same way. I watched it very late, but I'm glad I did it and became an instant favorite. Yes, that is how. If you're talking about Hunter x Hunter, that's exactly how I felt. I actually didn't care about Hunter x Hunter when I first watched it. I watched episode 1, 2, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch 1 episode a week and just go from there. Because that's how I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I watched 1 episode a week because I didn't really care about it. And then when I got to where it got good, then I binged it. And I got to around episode 6 or so of Hunter x Hunter. And after that, I was like, yes, next. Gotta keep going. No, I didn't watch Bleach. Had a great concept, so I'm amazing at fillers and plot devices ruined it. Couldn't keep the traction. I stopped at episode 1 on Bleach. I couldn't even get past episode 1. It just felt like a Nickelodeon show. It's like, oh, I'm a Reaper. I can fight ghosts. It's like, wow, great, wonderful. I love samurai stuff. So I get started to get good. I started to make some bad turns. I heard there's a really amazing arc in Bleach, the Soul Society or something. I can't remember what it was called, but I heard there's an amazing arc, and then it just dies from there. So let's look up the Promised Neverland. I'm not going to be on this stream for too much longer because I've already done an hour. That's good enough for me for a stream. The Promised Neverland has a 9 out of 10 on IMDb. Wow. Well, they people really like it on here. That is some good ratings. Wow. It actually has 13 episodes for The Promised Neverland, not 12. I don't know why I said 12. Mob Psycho season 2 is 13 as well. Let's see. I'm looking for some reviews on here. We go. Non-spoiler review. There we go. When it comes to horror, it is really hard to portray it since the audience who are horror lovers like me know what is coming and can predict maximum of the scene. I recently watched Hereditary and I liked it, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about other things, man. Talk about the show. It's not really a horror, though. I wouldn't call it a horror. I would call it like suspense more than horror. Like you're really tense throughout the whole thing, but it's not scary by any means. So that's a dumb review. Whatever, man. I want to see what other people think. The manga of The Promised Neverland is one of the most selling, and believe me, I'd read more than 150 mangas and watched over 600 animes. And if I have to rank this, I would rank it in the top 15. It was really a big deal after watching animes like Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, Steins Gate, Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan. I can tell you it's brilliant, and upcoming episodes will be too. People are saying brilliantly done, best anime in 2019, art of portraying horror and tension in the form of anime, fantastic horror anime. I don't know why people are saying it's horror. It wasn't scary. It was just tense. Like you felt like, oh my god, at any moment these kids are gonna get caught. Oh god, what's happening? It wasn't like it wasn't like ghosts or things like that. Yeah, Soul Society was amazing. Certain parts of the Hikuma art were amazing. Manga ended flat. The manga ended because they forced him to end it, and it didn't end the way he wanted to because they're like, we're done with you, so end the manga. It was a bad situation. Maybe a reboot would help, but I don't think there'll ever be a reboot, to be honest. You know what needs to be rebooted is Yu Yu Hakusho, because I really want to check out that anime, but I will not check out the old one. It looks too bad for me. But yeah, people really love The Promised Neverland. They got really good reviews, especially to get a 9 out of 10. Amazing. So yeah, those are the 2 animes so far that I've been checking out of this year. There's a lot in April. So the spring season is going to be full of reviews. So please check out my reviews. There'll be plenty of them to watch. Thank you for joining on the live. I really enjoyed talking. It was really good. I really enjoyed a classic. I always hear Yu Yu Hakusho is a classic, but the animation's so old, and they need to reboot it. If they rebooted it, you know it would be big. You know it would be a huge, amazing thing. Yes, thank you so much. I try to be as supportive as I can for everybody, but time is really difficult to come by to support everything. But anyways, that is it for those 2. I hope you all check it out because those anime were amazing. So please check out Mob Psycho 100. Please check out The Promised Neverland. You won't regret it. I loved it. Apparently everyone, the critics love it. And we're going to be moving on to amazing anime for April, so I can't wait. Thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. It's been a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm going to be a little bit more organized for the next discussion that I do for anime. But anyways, check out my other videos. I got Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay videos, The Walking Dead final season gameplay videos. Those have been getting a lot of views. I'll be reviewing One Punch Man Season 2, Attack on Titan Season 3, My Hero Season 4. God, there's so many. I won't be reviewing Game of Thrones. I might do a discussion for it once the season is done, but it's too big of a series. I'm mainly going to do anime. There's too many things. But anyways, check all of those out. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Help me get that watch time. I'm trying to get my watch time up. I got 1,000 subscribers. I just got to get that 4,000 watch hours up there. I know Game of Thrones, but I'm not going to review Game of Thrones. I won't do it. It's too big. Way too big. I got so many anime. I'm going to stick with anime for now. If there's other things that pop up, we'll see. But anime first. Then we'll see what happens with Game of Thrones. But anyways, thank you again for watching. I'll be uploading eventually the March meme review and funny video review. And I also have a 1,000 subscriber special video that me and my girlfriend filmed actually today that I think you will all enjoy. I just got to edit all of this crap if I ever have time to edit. But anyways, thank you all for joining. I catch you guys next time. Have a great one and take care, guys. We'll catch you guys all next time.